water. It's the fundamental building block of life. It accounts for the vast majority of Earth's surface area. But what if, instead of water, our oceans were filled with pee? Well, I can tell you somebody who would be happy about that. Shane Dawson. Oh, fuck. But I can tell you one thing that nobody would be happy with the ocean being filled with. Plastic. Even a sick fuck like Shane Dawson doesn't want the ocean to be full of plastic. And so today I'm bringing to you a video associated in some way with the Team Seas movement, which is a big collaboration from multiple creators, mostly of the educational type, people like Mark Roper, Matt Pat from Game Theory, Veritasium, those the sort of pop educational channels on YouTube. And what it is basically is you donate $1 and people clean up a pound of trash. I don't know how that works. I don't know how those two things correlate, but I guess that's how it works. They're trying to raise $30 million, which is honestly modest, given that Team Trees raised over $20 million, and Mr. Beast was not nearly so much of a household name back then. Mr. Beast is also involved. I say that? It's a Mr. Beast thing more than anything else. Mr. Beast, the king of excess, just fucking filling up a child with Orbeez until they explode type of guy. Really just a content creator for our times, I think. Here's some alarming statistics I just want to throw at you to sort of scare you into donating money, I guess. Did you know that 30 trillion tons of plastic are injected into the blood of baby seals everywhere each year? Did you know that? Because it's probably true. That's probably fucking true. That's what the sick fucks at Silicon Valley are doing. That's the silicon, they're fucking injecting that into seals and killing them. That's what happens at Silicon Valley. I don't know, dude. I'm flying off the seat of my pants here. Really, this video is more about Shane Dawson liking pee than anything else. You pee in the ocean. The ocean is salty like pee, and so I figured there would be some overlap there. I may as well turn my Shane Dawson pee fetish video into a video that is going to help the planet grow more powerful, I guess. I don't know. Of course, the reality is that, you know, we need to have biodegradable plastics. We need to stop using plastic altogether and find more effective ways of recycling the plastic that we have. Look, everything's fucked, so why not clean up a little bit of plastic? You know, why not pretend that we tried by donating $1? If we just throw enough money at it, it'll solve the problem. I guess I'll talk a little bit more about plastics and what I do at my job at the end of the video. That's what I'll do. But for right now, we're going to talk about fucking YouTubers that are fucking pedophiles. So I'm certain that this video will fit very nicely within the deluge of videos that are just like fact videos about how fucked the ocean is. We've talked a little bit about recycling and, you know, helping fucking Mother Gaia Earth. But let's move this conversation on to something that actually matters, which is dumb fucking petty YouTube shit. This is real change. I am a commentary YouTuber. You know, I'm essentially like, this is activism, what I'm doing right now. Shane Dawson, I'm talking about him liking piss. This is activism. Really, the problem with Shane's piss stuff is the child element of it. There's a child element to Shane's piss stuff. There's really no element of Shane's weird fetish shit that doesn't also involve children. So, there you go. The impetus for this is actually a sketch that I remember from seeing whenever I was like 12, where a girl licks dog pee off the ground, which is just such a fucking visceral image to have implanted in my brain as a young tyke, as a child. You know, and it stayed there. It really stuck in my mind. And so I was trying to find it, and it took me a while. I did eventually find the video, but I also found this compilation called Shane Dawson's Pee Fetish, uploaded by KDB. She only has 3 subscribers, so go ahead and throw a couple more subscribers to KDB's way. I mean, she doesn't upload any videos, but go ahead and fucking subscribe. So in this first clip, it's not the worst. It's not the most offensive. Shane Dawson pissed in a Powerade bottle and then had this guy smell it.
Hey, what's in that bottle right there?
It seems like maybe you might have pissed into it because you were too lazy to get and go to the actual bathroom. Shane, is that piss?
No.
Shane, is that piss?
Do you want me to test it?
Jesus, Shane, what is this?
It's Powerade. I was sick.
If this smells like piss, I'm gonna hit you.
Okay.
It's fucking piss.
Yeah, you really shouldn't let people smell your piss. Like, if somebody's like, hey, is this piss? You shouldn't be like, I don't know. You shouldn't, like, lie about it. Like, hey, I'm gonna smell it. This better not be piss. And they're taking the lid off to smell it. You should say, that's actually piss. You shouldn't smell it. I used to pee in cups whenever I was a little kid. I guess I was just scared maybe of going to the bathroom. Or maybe I just thought it was cool to, like, have a cup of pee. You know, because whenever I peed, in my brain, I was always like, it's not that much. But then I pee in a cup and I'm like, this is so much fucking pee. And I was just impressed. So sometimes I just pee in a cup and leave it in my room.
What's the grossest thing that you've ever done in your life?
The grossest thing he's done is probably receive child porn.
So, when Shane and I met, I was 17.
This is a very bad video. This one I'm certain people have talked about a lot. This is the video with Tana Mojo, where he gets her to piss on him. It's pretty fucky.
Really, I was 17 and it was just like a thing, you know? Like, it was just everything I said. Like, if you said something in front of me that was like sexual, you'd be like, fuck, she's 17.
Fuck, she's 17. See, that's not a thing that should ever be said. You shouldn't be like, fuck, she's 17. Fuck, this is a child. Shane is just much older than her, regardless as to whether or not she's 17. She's 18 in this video. Regardless, though, Shane is like a decade older than she is.
The quiver. I want to like tongue dip like a dog.
Oh, have you ever tried pee?
What if the oceans were replaced with kombucha? Think about that. Think about how healthy that would be. You know, instead of big piles of fucking plastic, they'd have big piles of like that, whatever the fuck the little blob is in the kombucha.
Okay, get on. What are we doing?
18.
Okay, 18.
See, this just doesn't look good. She looks kind of like a child, especially because she's much smaller than Shane is, and Shane's this very hairy dude.
Honestly, I'm on my period, though. I could period on you. Should I period on you?
Okay.
If I like push hard enough, like blood clot.
Shit on me.
Like, he's doing these weird laughs, like these weird, very like, he's doing like the Jimmy Fallon laugh, where like he laughs and then he suddenly cuts it off, and it makes laughs sound fake whenever you do that.
I just wanted.
You just farted on my dick. I felt it.
Oh, fucking, this is nasty, dude. I imagine he's apologized for this specifically. I mean, I don't know to what degree it matters. Like, this alone is, like, very damning. It's so fucking awkward and uncomfortable to watch. He, like, tickles her. This is just so many fucking weird fetishes, like, wrapped into one video. Again, the weird fetishes aren't the problem. I don't give a shit if somebody likes getting tickled or wants somebody to fart on their dick. I don't care. That's fine. Just really weird, the dynamic here.
I wake up in the street and I'm covered in pee. Then my pee turns to chocolate. That would be fucking sweet.
Whenever your comedy is just doing random shit, you have like a lot of plausible deniability around including shit like somebody pissing and then it turning to chocolate and them eating it. You know what I mean? And the way that they do the piss is like, it shows her pissing. His old content is very visceral. That I would say is one of the greatest contrasts between his new content and old content, is just how like a lot of his old content is and how fucking limp and pathetic a lot of his new content is. I mean, his old content was obviously terrible, but it was like visceral and in a way powerful, not just in that it was so offensive and terrible. But his new content is just bad in this fucking placid, boring, limp dick sort of way that is, I guess, better than what it was, because obviously he was doing shit with children. You know, the racist shit that he did is something that a lot of his fans seem to vehemently defend, which I don't know if that is a product of him, given that he had such a young audience, or if that is just the audience that he happened to attract with the racist shit. I don't know. Shane Dawson has just never made anything good. So now we get to the actual video that I was talking about, where the girl licks dog pee off the ground. Hey, hashtag Team C's, by the way. Team C's, Team P's. What do you think about that, maybe? A little bit of context for this video. This is a parody of an episode of Maury, which is, like Dr. Phil, it's a television show dedicated to mocking the poor and mentally disabled. But unlike Dr. Phil, it sort of embraces the fact that it's just for people to laugh at, whereas Dr. Phil pretends that it's helping these people by sending them to a ranch in Texas, where the poor people get to ride a horse and the mentally disabled people get executed. Not really, though, of course. It's actually in Utah, and everybody gets molested. But basically, it's a parody of the sort of delinquent character that you would see on Maury. I think there is one specifically about a 15-year-old who is pregnant. This is a parody of that kind of video. And the character in it, I believe, is played by Shane Dawson's younger cousin, who was like 12 at the time.
My name is Gabby, I'm 12 years old, and I'm pregnant as fuck!
So this is the titular character. Her name is Gabby. She's 12 years old, and she's pregnant as fuck.
I want to give birth to my car so that I can throw my baby out the window! My favorite part of Finding Nemo was when his mom died. That shit was funny as fuck!
And it's just her being like a bad person, basically.
My favorite flavor of popsicle is dick!
Now, a lot of you probably know that clip. I bet you didn't know Shane Dawson did it. I remember that Shane Dawson did that.
I named my pussy Rihanna because she loves to get beat up. When I get bored, I drink dog pee.
That's weird. That's just a strange thing to put in it, right? Because, you know, a lot of the other stuff at the very least, like, sort of makes sense within the character. I think it's still fucking weird to do a lot of sex jokes with your 12-year-old cousin whenever you're, like, in your mid-20s. That's a weird-ass thing to do. And it's bad. Like, it's a bad thing to do. But, like, this is particularly difficult to defend because, like, what is this a parody of, right? Like, people aren't going on to Maury drinking dog piss. No, nobody on these shows is drinking fucking dog piss. Like, that's not a parody of anything. It's not even a more extreme version of anything. It's just, like, Shane Dawson, he has this weird sexual fantasy, and, you know, he's like, this is a video where I could plausibly act that out. I don't know, I don't want to put too much shit on him, because it is, like, by all means, if you want to give him the benefit of the doubt, I guess that's fine.
One time I left my baby brother in the car and he melted.
That's really the only funny bit in the whole video. Like, that's a funny thing to say. I left my baby brother in the car and he melted. I'll hand it to Shane. That's a funny joke. It doesn't quite cancel out, like, the weird piss fetish, a 12-year-old girl licking piss off the ground thing. Yeah, obviously, none of this is not so severe as, like, the other stuff he's done involving children, but it's just what I remembered. And whenever people were talking about the shit Shane Dawson did, this never really came up, probably because it's not as severe as some of the other shit that he did. Oh, I missed the old YouTube whenever you could film fake piss porn with a child. I miss that. I wish we could go back to those days. This person comments, this describes every girl now. It does? What? This can't be real. No, it's not real. That's true. No, there's not a child who actually licks dog piss off of the ground. Well, there probably is somewhere, maybe. Me at 12, still watching the Muppets. Her at 12? Who's her? Who is the her that you're talking about that's licking dog pee and pregnant at 12? This kid is high on drugs. I love whenever people like fucking said shit like that. Dude, Timmy just ate a fucking pile of dirt. He must be high on drugs. Like that's what drugs are. Like that's what fucking 10-year-olds think drugs do. Like, whoa, fucking Devin is fucking has his shoe on his head. He must be on drugs, dude. Why does this remind me of Lil Tay? It's the shit that people like would be like, whoa, this is crazy. You know, people were making commentary videos about Lil Tay, a fucking 9-year-old who their parents filmed holding a wad of cash up to her face. It's not funny. You don't have anything funny to add. There's nothing funny that you have to say about a 9-year-old with a wad of cash. A 9-year-old stepped out of a fancy car. Like, shut the fuck up. That sucked, dude. I think that a lot of people don't understand that this is connected to Shane Dawson. I mean, still, some of those people were like nostalgic for that era of YouTube, which implies to me that they would understand that this was Shane Dawson. Or maybe they came still from TikTok and they're just so fucking, like, they're just pretending to be nostalgic. Like, they have, like, this fake nostalgia for a YouTube that they never fucking interacted with. YouTube sucked. Like, content on YouTube, I'm not saying YouTube, the platform has always been shitty, but it was also shit back then. Like, there were plenty of things that did worse. Like, if I was uploading this video in, like, 2006, it would be at, like, 240p. It would suck. I mean, it'd be a shittier camera. There's a number of things that would be shittier, but, like, a bunch of stuff, like, stuff is improved. But content-wise, it's very it's, like, obviously infinitely better now. It's not even close. Content-wise, YouTube is so much better now than it was in 2012. 2012 YouTube sucks dick compared to YouTube now. There was no golden. 2016 was not better. I understand people really like YouTube, like in the area, like right before, you know, things got like adpocalypse shit, the adpocalypse or whatever happened. You just remember fondly certain things that really can't exist now, which is true. There's things from back then that are good that can't really exist anymore, but there's not that much, and most of it was still just shit. Most of it still sucked. You know, YouTube has never been like the perfect place. I think that the copyright shit is far more egregious. Like, that's like the demonetization for like offensive stuff is like, I almost don't think as bad as the crackdowns on copyright. Like that genuinely does, like, it really censors way more than like the other shit. But then again, like, demonetizing news shit is pretty bad. Popular stuff, what is the most popular shit on YouTube is probably worse now, but that's mostly just because people leave YouTube with their children. And so, like, a massive portion of YouTube views are from children, young children. And so, you know, if you're like, wow, how is Darman the most popular thing? Like, Smosh was better. And that's true, Smosh was better than Darman. Definitely. But, like, also, Smosh is not for, as much as, you know, you want to say it's for little kids, it's not for babies. Like, Smosh is for, like a 10, 11-year-old would find Smosh pretty fucking funny. But a 10, 11-year-old, like, YouTube is dominated by 5-year-olds now. Like, that's almost the primary demographic in a lot of ways. You know, everything else is niche. You know, 5 or 10-year-olds that grow into, like, young teenagers who watch, you know, Dixie D'Amelio, not because, not for any actual reason, but just because it's just a thing to consume. Fuck Shane Dawson. Donate to remove plastic from the ocean. That's a little poem that I just wrote. I figure I should just say how the Team C's thing even happened. I got an email from TubeBuddy, which sounds like it would be like a porn website, but actually it's a thing for YouTube that helps with like adding tags and stuff. And it was like, hey, Mr. Beast needs your help. It's like, what the fuck? Why? What? And it's Save the Seas. That's what it is. Save the Seas. That's why this video is framed the way that it is.